Tony Smith outside the Fontainebleau tonight in South Beach, where President Obama just wrapped up speaking about the economy, healthcare, and education. Snow in Miami, well, it's a 20-year tradition at the Bank of America Towers in downtown Miami. And if you ever wonder how they do it, well, it's not as simple as flipping the switch. Live here at JMH, where Mikey Brewer, 15-year-old Mikey Brewer, is in a medically induced coma. Now, this is after police say 5 boys set him on fire. Dozens of women in Miami are smiling tonight, and you would be too when you see the results of a free dental clinic being held today and tomorrow in the most unique setting. Now at 6, police go to a South Florida school to arrest a student with a warrant and find a little bit more than what they bargained for. The 5 boys remain in the juvenile detention center tonight and are due back in court next week, while Mikey Brewer is recovering at Jackson Memorial Hospital. That's the very latest here in Fort Lauderdale. I'm Tony Smith. Well, good afternoon, South Florida. We've seen a blanket of clouds over the last 12 hours. But for the rest of tonight, 66 degrees, coastal clouds, and it's going to be on that normal side of things tonight. Thank you, Boris. It is easy to find a pumpkin in October, but the Today Show this morning, it was all about the great pumpkin. A seafood lover's delight and jamming music. I'm Tony Smith, and I'll take you to the 8th annual Clam Bake in Hollywood. See you there. Welcome back. A Deerfield Beach teen is in a medically induced coma tonight. This after police say 5 boys literally set him on fire. This comes one day after the victim, Mikey Brewer, told police who stole his father's bike.
The charge is attempted murder, 2nd degree.
At 15 years old, Jesus Mendez is charged with a crime many can't think of. He's accused of setting 15-year-old Mikey Brewer on fire, a crime police say was orchestrated by 15-year-old Matthew Bent all over a stolen bike.
I'll be honest with you, a couple of them last night were laughing about it.
In this Deerfield Beach community on Monday, Brewer, rifling with pain while engulfed in flames, jumped into a pool for relief as his clothes burnt off his body. He was transported to Ryder Trauma Center at Jackson, where doctors say he'll spend the next several months in the burn unit after 65% of his body was burnt.
Nearly 2/3 of his body is burned in mixed 2nd and 3rd degree burns.
Wednesday, Menendez, who police say sparked the flames, and Stephen Shelton, a participant, were put on hold in juvenile detention.
At this stage, the judge has ordered 21 days for that individual to serve in the juvenile detention center. During that time, the state attorney's office will make a decision whether to keep that case in juvenile court or whether to transfer him to the adult system.
According to the arrest report, the Jarvis brothers, Denver 15 and Jeremy 13, were also involved in this heinous crime. But their mother, standing in their defense, says they're good boys.
They have good grades, no problems in school. Wrong place, wrong people.
But a spokesperson for the Brewer family says the punishment needs to fit the crime.
They did catch these boys, and I just hope they get prosecuted as an adults, and for all 5 of them.
Now the 5 involved in this unthinkable crime will remain in the juvenile detention center for the next 21 days while the state decides whether to charge these kids as adults. Snow in Miami, well, it's a 20-year tradition at the Bank of America Towers in downtown Miami. And if you ever wonder how they do it, well, it's not as simple as flipping the switch.
And with snowflakes, it's iconic.
It's also a major project, and as Chief Engineer Luis Contreras makes sure it's a picture perfect every night during the holiday season.
I mean, people look at that and say, wow, here, now is the season. We see the snowflakes, so the season is among us now.
The Bank of America is known for changing colors depending on the occasion, like green for Earth Hour or red, white, and blue for 4th of July. They also do the colors of the Mexican flag.
That's done with individual gels on the lights.
Lights themselves go on automatically, thanks to a computer program that tracks when the sun sets.
Well, tonight is the first night that you can see these lights, and they'll be up until the end of the year. In downtown Miami, I'm Tony Smith, NBC6.
Gun violence once again plagues another Miami community.
Bodies laying up, one of them still up.
This after shots rang out in broad daylight, claiming 2 lives and critically injuring another.
We don't know if the person or persons that fired at these 3 people knew each other, what the motive is. Everything is still very preliminary.
The gunman, who was seen in a black SUV armed with a AK-47, sprayed the area of Overtown earlier today at people gathering along the corner. One victim, 22-year-old Jeremy Lowe.
My son laying down up, and I can't believe it.
BC6 reporter Hank Tester spoke with Lowe's mother, who says she feared for her son's life.
I did because I know he'd be out here on the streets, and it's always on my mind.
Shell casings littered the street as one witness, terrified to show her face, spoke out about ongoing crime in her neighborhood.
All the time. Born and raised over here. That's all that go on.
After the massive shooting, activists led by Miami-Dade Commissioner Michelle Spence-Jones took to the streets.
I ran into the corner, and that's when I saw the victim on the ground. I've never seen anybody shot and killed before.
Passing out hotspot cards to encourage witnesses to come forth and help stop the violence.
They need to tell people if they've seen something, because babies could have been getting out of school at 2 o'clock. You know, it's senseless killings.
Again, 2 killed and 1 critically injured in Jackson Memorial Hospital tonight. Now, police are encouraging anyone who is in the area of Overtown tonight to call Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers at 305-471-TIPS. In Miami, I'm Tony Smith. Dozens of women in Miami are smiling tonight, and you would be too when you see the results of a free dental clinic being held today and tomorrow in the most unique setting. Art of Dentistry is a contemporary eye-catching collection at the Margot Art Warehouse, a temporary 2-day free clinic. The patients are from Lois House Women's Shelter in Overtown.
First off, I was very scared because I'm scared of the dentist. I haven't been in like 13 years.
Carolyn King is getting a much-needed filling and root canal she could not afford.
It's my Christmas present. I'm very grateful for this opportunity because I never would have got this done had I not been in the Lotus House. I know I wouldn't have. It's very expensive, and it's an honor.
The dentists, oral surgeons, hygienists, and assistants were all volunteers. This year, similar clinics have been held across the East Coast.
We have traveled from New York to Miami and everywhere in between. This is our 15th clinic this year. And during that time, we've treated about 1,400 patients and done right at $1.4 million worth of free dentistry.
The Pankey Institute in Key Biscayne made this possible and will provide free follow-up care to women who need additional work.
We're going to work up each of them like you would in the finest dental office.
It enhances self-esteem. So many of our women have domestic violence histories. They've been victims of child abuse or violent crime, and to be able to smile without covering your mouth is a gift.
Rolanda McMillan has been missing her front teeth for 6 years.
And it's been hard to smile, hard to hold a good job and smile, because I love smiling.
Within a matter of hours, a partial bridge was made for Rolanda to complete her smile.
Thank you.